Well, the current dysfunction in Washington is stemming directly from the often chaotic scenes at our southern border. Border Patrol agents encountering tens of thousands of people crossing into the U.S. on a monthly basis. And a memo exclusively obtained by NewsNation indicates most are not arriving strictly for asylum. Correspondent Allie Bradley joining us live in Arizona. Allie, with details on what is inside those internal documents.
Yeah, hey, Nichole, we were able to exclusively obtain these internal memos here showing that Customs and Border Protection advisors linked up with Panamanian immigration officials down in the Darien Gap actually know that many of these migrants don't qualify for asylum all the way down south, yet they allow them to traverse all the way to our southern border and enter into those asylum proceedings anyway. So hundreds of migrants were actually questioned down in the Darien Gap, and officials were conducting this survey to figure out really what the pull factors are, why these individuals are coming to our southern border and why they're making this really dangerous journey. So they questioned hundreds of migrants from South and Central America. This is notoriously, the Darien Gap is known for being the most dangerous region that connects South and Central America. Now, investigators, they found no reports of gangs or other criminal organizations pushing migrants out of their countries, aside from one case. Now, none of the interviewed migrants actually claimed political persecution as their reasoning for leaving either. And now this is pretty significant here because this current Senate bill that we're talking about right now would label all migrants as asylum seekers, despite knowing that most migrants are fleeing from poor economic conditions, not political persecution. In fact, many of those interviewed say that they already have employment set up for them at their final destinations here in the United States. So here's a breakdown of the migrants that were interviewed. Most of them did come from Venezuela. The majority say they began their journeys from their home country. However, a number of Venezuelan nationals were actually living in Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia for 6 months or more, even more than several years before even heading north. They say they left those countries because of deteriorating economic conditions and fear of being targeted by gangs. Ironically, many migrants reported being victims to robberies, assaults, and rape in the middle of the Darien Gap. Now, the report indicates most migrants are headed to metropolitan areas in several states across the U.S. Almost all of the interviewed Venezuelan nationals were aware of these repatriation flights that DHS is conducting, but they say that the possible long-term benefits of making the trek to the United States outweighs the risk of possibly being returned to Venezuela. Now, we were able to talk in a one-on-one with independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. down at the border, who is making his second trip down here. This time he was in the Tucson sector, which is where we're standing right now. And this is the hardest hit sector. And he says if he wins, he would stop all illegal crossings, including those coming through the Darien Gap.
I'd make an announcement on day one that it's over. And I would then begin enforcing the law so nobody gets across. And I would also start talking to the presidents of the Central American countries, of Ecuador, Colombia, and enlist their help in solving this problem internationally.
Now, Nichole, I asked the president of the Border Patrol Union why repatriation flights weren't happening down in the Darien Gap or down in one of these facilities in Guatemala or Honduras that DHS is operating. He said they could be running those repatriation flights, but it comes down to politics. Nichole.
All right. Allie Bradley live for us there in Arizona. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.